Hey guys, more Final Fantasy XI with Jeremy and Jonathan, and the trilogy of Sinister Reign continues with the finale, Scholar Solo.
Scolo? Restart it.
That's my name, Skolo. That
you
should
can,
be what
you can edit this bit out.
That's
Solo. Say it again.
Scholar Solo. That's Skolo.
That's the new phrase for Scholar Solo. I'm gonna Skolo it.
And without trust.
That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna Skolo it.
Yeah, I invented it.
So,
but yeah, not
Jeremy
not
is
only
a hard out scholar. And
not
he
only
wants to show
like
off.
solo with trust, solo no trust.
Solo no trust. Scholar.
Han Solo with no trust.
So you're a scholar. You have to tell the people what jobs and stuff you have.
Scholar Red Mage.
Scholar Red Mage. And
I think I came with like Ninja one time to try it, and then I was like, this is crap.
Yep.
Because lots of stuff just go through shadows, and it's just like the main thing now was Aqua Veil and like damage reduction and region 5 with like hydration, and then you can just sit there and it's mostly all about like knowledge about the enemies as well. You can't just blindly do it.
no, it's certainly not easy. Like we've done trio, duo, and those all had their own difficulties, but you can imagine a solo like no trust help requires like skill, gear, and like luck and stuff.
So it's about knowing the enemies, like I said as well. So this is definitely the hardest tier 1 off the 3, simply because you've got this stupid prince like hitting you the whole time, and he's like, you can kill him, but it's like as long as you land a helix, you can just run around and heal. The tricky thing can be he can petrify you as you're casting it.
Like, look at that, you're already like...
Yeah. Well, I get real close to dying.
29 right from the start, where you're like, oh well, start again. Like, I thought that was a bad...
And I got a really crap like helix as well, because it's dark day, so I was trying dark helix, but it doesn't hurt her, because she's light, I guess. So I was like, uh-oh. Because if I like landing that one helix is like good enough, and then I can just run around and survive while she dies, but now I have to land another helix. But yeah, Aqua Veil is definitely a very important thing in these solos, because you're just getting hit the whole time, so you've got to like make sure your casts land.
Yes, if that gets interrupted, you'd be stuffed.
And I've got like the Rizajima, like I think it's the mate, like the non-nuking one.
It's so ridiculous.
Like
how many
the white...
times have you been like under...
See, he like interrupted me because he like petrified, he stunned me or something, or my Aqua Veil wore off. But yeah, I've got the head that upgrades Aqua Veil, and also like the Limbus like new pants.
What are you doing right now? You're like, I need to get Aqua Veil up, or you're just like panicking or what?
Processing of like what this next step is.
I'd never be able to do this. My brain just doesn't like function.
Oh yeah, I've got that. Like I've got the Thunder Helix on it now, so that's enough damage to kill her. So it's just survive now.
Can't you like sleep him already though?
I feel like he did sleep, but it's like I don't care once I like land the helix. Like I can survive him. Like,
why are you trying to fight him? You just
I don't know. Maybe it was just seeing it like before.
Just seeing what kind
I remember
damage.
one time like he just keeps stunning me. He annoyed me so much that I finally killed him. Once he's dead, she's like nothing. So she doesn't even chase you. Point. She doesn't interrupt you or anything. So she's like real easy when he's dead. But he annoyed me one time so much that I just killed him.
Well, that's what you do in a party. Like the tank just grabs him and runs away while everyone else is...
like one magic burst nuke on him would probably like get him pretty much close. My charges are too precious, and like I said, one helix is enough to kill him. I think
you're doing stuff on him now. You had enough of him. Go away.
I think I'm like experimenting, maybe like on my idea for like. Because I did land that helix on her, I'm pretty sure. Right?
I don't know what's going on. I have no idea.
So that must be me like experimenting. Like it's pretty funny. I was just like talking about that. Like one skill chain nuke would probably end.
What shows it'll do about half.
And I forgot my food, so that was one thing. They're like
taco. What about your peer creep thing?
Well, I don't need magic accuracy as much. And damage
reduction.
The ramen soup, whatever I have there, is like real good because it gives you defense and like magic evasion and stuff. But they cost so much on the auction house now, so it's like this is a pretty like I have cleaner fights of her, but it's still decent. I don't die. Like it still shows like she is quite tricky. The cat one's the joke one where I go into like first person view and stuff and like no like chat log at all, just looking at him like dancing and stuff. And I'm pretty much getting ready for like Adouls on me. That's what I gotta get rid of.
Erase.
But yeah, I'm preparing for like the next battle. She did her job. She like got me like real low MP wise, so I have to like
drain. There you go. She's gone.
I have to do like converting. And this is where the solo gets more interesting because the tier 2 is the counter helix characters. So one day I was doing it and I was like, why not just die and have the helix ticking away while I lie there dead on the ground? So the trick with that is all the T2 ones in Sinister Reign kind of do like they heal at certain percentages. So like this guy, he'll do it at 80% and like 60%. So I've got to keep casting Helix. But if I don't have hate on him, then he won't do it.
That's such a weird strategy. But like, smart, but it's like weird.
And the flaws of that can be that you're going to go into the third round weakened.
Yeah.
And you've only got 3 minutes before it'll kick you out of the arena.
Yeah, so you have to pick.
So if the helix isn't strong enough to damage it in that time, you gotta make sure it's like timed kind of right. With him, you can kind of land an 8k helix would probably be fine in 3 minutes. But on other ones, like he's probably the easiest one to land a high helix on. So the flower, like we saw that in the duo, like she's a nightmare one, like just break.
No one's just one guy,
and no one's there to like heal me from the break. And yeah, like my initial sleep will sleep the flower petals, but then eventually they wake up because I'm petrified for 2 minutes, and she just keeps casting it, like freezing me. So there, like he heals it. So
what do you do now?
Well, just cast it, because that's one way to make sure that the 3 minutes is enough. You get him down to like 80% and stuff, and because they get more powerful like the later they get. But at the moment he's not too like crazy. So yeah, 80% and stuff is like the.
So you're just waiting for silence to wear off at the moment before you can do anything else.
Well, I need to get another helix on him, and then I'll pretty much do as much damage as I can. You don't want to get him to the next like 60% so he heals it. You got to be careful to like do it between the 60 and 80. You want to do as much damage before you die, but you don't want to do too much that it triggers like the heal, or else it's like game over. And since it's dark state at the moment, I was like using the dark helix.
Just in time.
Yeah. And I end up dying anyway, like as
so
I did.
He's pretty proud of himself. But what he doesn't know is like you inserted like chakra or a key blast in him like virus. Earlier. You're
I
like
sneezed
harder
on him
against Aizen or something. He's just like, where did you do that? Like, what? Nani?
So then it becomes looking at the time left. You got to make sure you look at that, and if that goes down to like the like 57, that's too late. So it's like can be nerve-wracking.
This is how you scolo.
And then in the back of your mind, you've got to fight T3 like weakened. So it's like that's what you got to think about.
If you zoom up on your face, you're just like. You got like a smirk on your face because he's like real proud.
Pretty much to all the people watching, it's just like shh, quiet. Like, he doesn't know, like, this is the strategy.
He's just faking. He's like,
what he thinks is he won, and he's just like, look at him, he's not even looking at me anymore.
Real proud. He's real proud of himself, like, just posing. He doesn't realise.
But then I've got to start like watching him, so I know I got to be quick. All the things that I've got to cast before if the next thing didn't auto aggro, like it'd be more easy.
Because if he dies now while you're dead, you'll spend like 30 seconds going like raising.
This is where you pray for the dragon, unless you don't want the dragon. But the one flaw to this strategy is I haven't seen like August or the girl. I've done it like 4 times, and I got like the dragon every time, which the dragon is a joke, and you can fight him weakened.
That's so silly.
But I haven't seen what it's like to try fight August or RCL like weakened. I'm sure it's possible, but it's a lot more trickier than it is the dragon. But yeah.
You have to keep in mind that this isn't, the easiest way to do it. This is just like it can be done, like, by doing it. Obviously using trust or like coming in with other people is easier.
Even without dying, you can beat them just normally without dying, but because they heal Helix and like they're way more nightmares, the flower like puts Helix onto you, so that's pretty much the only way you can beat her.
But can you solo it with trusts like easier? Or is it pretty much the same?
Well, does the trust die easily, so it's probably like...
Yeah, they don't help that much.
Yeah,
so you're better off just doing your own.
This is mainly the T2s are just so annoying, like, because they heal it, and... But yeah, now it's like the... you see my stuff? Like,
he just died of old age.
Oh, I'm getting a bit old for
That's
this.
what I'm saying, he just dies of old age.
He had a heart attack. Moving on.
That's so funny.
Yeah. You
you
don't have much room for like wrong cast and stuff. You gotta like mainly region and like phalanx and Aquaville. Like those.
What
those
about
are the
re-raise?
Well, it's no time for that, especially because you have to have like your like the white book, like the double activate. And yeah, but this is where I do use the 1 hour.
Yep, bust out the 1 hour.
So you could use 1 hour for the T2, like the second tiers, to make it easier, but so then you don't die for the third one.
That's an interesting strat. It's an interesting adjustment maybe if you could 2 hour on the second one and not die. And then fight the third one and weaken might be less of a risk. But for some reason this dragon does like no damage.
I don't know why.
You're like weakened.
He's like light based and he's just doing like...
His hits are healing you or something.
They just do no damage. And it's like the one thing he does is the denounce.
Explosion, but that can't kill you or something. That's why it's so weird.
The only thing that can kill you is a follow up, but by the time he does the follow up, like I'm already healed enough to not take the damage. And you see I do like the Thunder Helix here, where it's like for some reason it does no damage like on the dark state. I'm sure on another day I've done it did like full damage, like 8k. I've done like massive like 1 hour and the Helix and like just destroyed him, but for some reason the Thunder one didn't do much. So especially because I'm weakened, so I have to wait for a dark heal. I have to wait for like those recharges to come back, Necro like Helix, because that's how I make like gravitation. So it's pretty much just
the weekend timers could be crap.
Yeah, because that's quite a bit. It's not crazy recast, but weekend it's quite high.
Paralyze isn't helping you.
Lucky just does nothing.
That's so weird.
Because one thing, like their hits.
He's all flash.
Their hits do magic damage.
Yeah, well,
so like August and RCL, like their on hit attacks are counted as magic. So he must be counted as magic as well.
But all the stuff he's doing looks like it should be doing stuff. He does like lasers.
Do you think it could be like just like he's broken? You know how like that one time the trust just got super powerful after the adjustment, or the ones that August and stuff started doing heaps of damage for like no reason, just because they change one thing.
It's probably just this. It's like, because he does this.
No, the other ones, the shark and stuff, are just one hit kill, and August does a one hit kill.
Maybe he's just meant to be easier. I don't know.
I feel like he could be broken or something. Like they have his like numbers down by mistake.
Maybe he's double weakened and no one told him, or no one told Square Enix.
And it's like, because the Helix and stuff, if you land the strong, normally the Thunder one will do max damage, so you don't have to wait this long for another Helix. Yeah, or now
you're weakened maybe.
I have to do. For the Scholar 1 hour, it's Gravitation.
Yeah.
But then it's the same one for Dark Helix as well, so I have to like wait for the Nocto Helix to come back. But I have a one where it's like the Thunder one did like 8k damage as well, and he just like dies like
real quick.
I just like watch him melt like in front of me.
If you'd got 9k at the start, it would have been.
He would be.
It's just like all this stuff, that's what I'm saying, all this flash and everything, and it's just like...
Yeah, it makes no sense, because normally dragons are just like real strong.
It's supposed to be like some legendary, whatever, and he's just like...
And one of the only reasons I can think is because he's light base, and you see like Holy and stuff do no damage, so...
Is that because it's on you and it would do more against
Maybe because
else?
It's Dark Stairs as well, but even then when it's not Dark Stairs, like he still does this as well.
Engage
but he's even weaker just because it's Dark Stairs.
Your weakness is about to wear off.
Like, oh crap.
What? You've been weak that whole time? I thought you had a brew on or something with this sort of hacks. And now you're unleashed. And then you die straight away. That's the way this game works. So you're unweak and then you... Typical.
He's like talking all this like tough talk as well.
You mortals know me as the scourge of the land. Tremble, you poor wretched fools. It's like, hey, there's only one of us here. Like, you fools. There's only one guy here.
See, this is where you're talking about like mana and stuff. But the area didn't have enough mana to cast Thunder 5.
So what'd you do? Quickly switch to 3 to get something off.
And it just
was too late.
But the Helix, that was just for like speed up a little
Shouldn't
bit.
It be curing?
They just do. Region 5, like.
You're like so confident, like that I got this. Now you're gonna walk in for a TP. Oh, you're trying to get MP, but
no. I'm just does like that does quite a bit of it will do darkness and stuff. Yeah, it says it's magic based now, so they do like real high amounts of damage, especially because it will do light or dark. Like,
it does do a lot of damage.
But it can do if we're at 300 TP, it does like even more.
Bye, dragon. Nani? Pretty good, really. That's solo.
Skolo.
Yeah, that's how you Skolo Sinister Reign.